I started recording. All right, amazing. So back to, I guess, a certain momentum. And so let me tell you the design of how I'm trying to create the day now, given that I finished the boot camp. All right. So one thing that's fairly important that I want you guys to understand is I have realized a decision to focus more on the self by taking care of myself in order for me to level up to become the ideal version. And that's a philosophy that I had before I actually started making these videos. And like I'm questioning myself if these videos kind of like gave me more of an ego where I actually got beyond that, or it's part of the whole like experimenting phase where you lose touch to a few things. But my goal is to consistently go to the gym, is to consistently write every day, and to consistently read every day. And which are all, especially when you're entering new endeavors, it kind of needs its own energy, right? And since I still don't have like a certain kind of like stable, remember, like I actually moved houses 4 months ago. So my existence right now, when I was actually doing a complete full morning routine, only purely focused daily routine, purely focused on like how I want to get better, healthier, more fit, just a bit smarter, maybe, and a bit more like literate, and all these things. As I was actually doing them, everything else that I consider work was happening on the sidelines. So I didn't have to make decisions when it comes to those things. It's just the first thing that came to mind, I'll just do it and I'll just do it. And it was amazing and blissful. Why? Because it allowed me to kind of like go through them without thinking about them. So I'm attempting this again, and starting this month, I'm actually like pushing for such a vibe. So my focus is supposed to be reading, writing every day, meditating every day, at least twice. I want to do it in the morning, and I want to do it sometime at noon or in the afternoon, kind of like a vibe between. I'm turning my phone off though for a full month, and the purpose behind that I will figure out after the month. I finished the boot camp. I learned a lot from it. I don't think I want to go to the next stage, but I don't think they will accept me because I fucked up on the final. And it's just like I should have noticed that I should have complied. I should notice that I should have complied to like the details that they would require. But I'm used to coding in JavaScript, so you don't consider those details. You just really don't care. While when we're coding at a low level language, we really need to make sure we don't get any error, or else like there's a lot of like there's a design process that protects the actual computers and the code that we have from other people. Remember, code is literally like do this, do this, do this, and so other people can say that unless they kind of like have specific, unless it's kind of like like a house requires certain amounts of doors and locks, and the main entrance probably requires more locks, and just directions to get to the house is actually needs to be accurate, not just go there. So, anyways, the also it's like making videos is back on track. I have a whole lot of backlog, and what they would say is technical debt. Like in the technical world, I guess it's called technical debt. And I have a whole lot of them that I need to like go through them, and it'll be perfect because like I don't really have to think about these things. Plus, over the past couple of weeks, I've been writing a lot more. It's just like I've been influenced a lot more to write for some reason, and I've been doing it and I've been posting. And I think I'm kind of like picking a certain momentum that I don't have to think about many things. And that might actually bring me down to kind of like a certain level where I'm able to kind of like produce the things that I said I wanted to do at one point, including like making videos, whether it is videos about software, videos about my startup, videos about what's it called? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Videos about the business analysis. I said I wanted to do a course about it. So all of these are basically what I've been trying to do. What I'm planning, and the current structure is going to support that. And the goal is to figure out a way to support that and to see my progress and to kind of like notify you guys and find a way to actually interact with you in the process. So yay! But for today's video, oh fucking 5 minutes meant to say all that stuff. My bad. Uh, this video is about the pursuit of the failed, designing our own insecurities. Here it is. Uh, Pursuit of the fail, it's fairly simple, right? Like, the goal is to look for the failures. And if anything, to kind of pursue something you will fail in. And who the fuck knows what the vibe was back then. But designing our insecurities is the way I look at it is I'm taking charge about what things I want to be insecure about. And so they stop surprising me, right? They stop coming out of nowhere and kind of like revealing themselves in a way that allows me to be frustrated. It becomes an anticipation and a preparation. And when you put them that way, it's kind of like I'm looking for the things that I'm going to be failing in, and I'm targeting failure because the process to get to failure is where you kind of like realize a whole lot of stuff. So the pursuit of the fail is more of is the better way for you to kind of finish something is to see how many ways it could actually fail. The more ways you discover it can fail, the closer you get to success. Now, all right, so let me kind of like weigh it differently. Uh, it feels that attempts towards success are a lot more than attempts towards failure. It's funny because if you're attempting something new, it's going to probably fail in a more standardized way. But it's probably going to succeed in an awkward way that you're not really familiar with. So it's easier for us to kind of eliminate the ways it fails. By doing that, what we could actually do is integrate our process away from the directions where it can actually fail. So targeting failure allows us to clarify the ways where it wouldn't work, leaving us no option but to kind of like explore the ways where I mean like the unknown, which kind of like is the way that would not necessarily kind of like we don't know, we have no idea because it's like the new way, the new stuff or something like this. So the designing of our insecurities part kind of like if we were to take responsibility for failure, if we were to look at ourselves and be like, you know, this hasn't worked today because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For it to work tomorrow, something contributed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instead of what can I do differently tomorrow. And by targeting failure, I'd be directly approaching my insecurities in a way where it's like you kind of want them to reveal themselves sooner than later. Because the last thing you want is for things to be moving slowly and shit to kind of like come up. It's funny because like it just popped into my head right now. Like in business as well, it's often like when things are going smoothly, when people start feeling anxious because like you know something might go wrong, and it's probably because when things are going smoothly, whatever kind of like there's always change. Is the constant of the universe, right? And so if you're still seeing things smoothly moving, then there's something that's growing, but that's kind of hidden, that's changing, that's kind of hidden. And your duty is to find that thing and ultimately to pursue the ways where whatever that's moving smoothly could actually fail in order for you to nip the weeds up in the bud, basically, to kind of like take them out before they develop seedlings and like that they start flourishing all around. So a fun way to look at it is to design our insecurities. Like, what could I possibly be insecure about? Me, is it the way I look? Probably a bit. Is it the way I see myself when it comes to business? Yeah, there are a lot of insecurities when it comes to that. But I'm just assuming the insecurities are because I compare myself to the books I read, not the actual like business I do. So if I were to target the insecurity, I'd want to flesh out my knowledge and I would want to design everything based on exactly what I know that makes me feel insecure, which makes me target the weaker parts where I think I could do better when it comes to like the planning or the business structure or the strategy at least or the like marketing content. And I would target them and I would operate on that basis, which would probably make the entire plan either smell or prove me otherwise. So I'm either going to realize how bad I am in the places where I'm bad, and my insecurities will be like fleshed out completely, be like, this is why you're insecure, right? Or it proves me otherwise. It kind of shows like my insecurities are kind of useless because I kind of managed to do something correctly, or I managed to not necessarily fuck it up completely or fail because I was pursuing the failure, but that's not what happened. And by designing our insecurities ourselves, we get to kind of like choose if I were to be insecure about this, then I would have, and then this thing would be an issue for me, and then I would target it. And then I'd be able to kind of like articulate things differently just for the sake of, I don't want to use the word avoiding, but more like interacting with my insecurity in a much more efficient way instead of just kind of denying its existence. So it'll be with the help of my insecurities that I actually kind of like move beyond where I am right now and towards the kind of person that makes things successful instead of the person that kind of feels like he can't. Amazing. The pursuit of the fail, designing our insecurities. It's a video.